Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the most exhilarating event of the world of Trackmania, the Port Bois Club Championship. Today we got 4 of the best Trackmania players from around the world, well, at least among the Port Bois Club, who have been battling it out for the past 3 months to set the best times in the 2024 fall campaign. As we clock over to 2025, the leaderboards have locked and the players' records are now cemented in history. Today we're bringing you all the records in action, and I'm keen to see what they've achieved.
Absolutely, Taylor. This has been an intense few months of fierce competition, strategy, and countless hours of perfecting every drift and turn. Each of these players has made some incredible improvements, but the question remains, who's on top? Who's got the most club records, and who's higher on the global leaderboards?
You bet, Liam. But hey, let's not waste any more time. We'll commentate through the first 5 tracks to let you know what's happening. After that, we'll just play you the records in their unspoken perfection. Put your bets in now, folks, and let's dive straight into these crazy records. And keep in mind, the first 10 tracks are absolutely free to play if any viewers feel like challenging these times. Alright, first up, the fall campaign's first set of tracks, the white tracks. Considered to be the easier maps, let's take a look at the first track.
Thanks, Kyle. Now, track 1, a grass map which features wide turns, an easy map to get us introduced to the game. Now, let's watch our first champion, T-Bone Steak. You'll also be able to see the other players' ghosts during T-Bone's record run. Let's watch. The race starts with T-Bone in the centre, Drum Dick and Spunky Cabbage sporting the Australian yellow and green, and Mailman in red. Here, T-Bone tries to reduce his airtime as much as possible, then tries not to turn too hard to preserve speed. He then tries to drive the most inside line, only just missing that corner and then straightening his car out for the road ahead. T-Bone again reduces airtime, turning sharp to the right and turning as hard as possible without losing speed, and with a nice wide turn, nicely jumping into the finish, securing his first record. Wow, what a beautiful performance by T-Bone Steak, with a time of 28.52 seconds, landing him his first record in the fall 2024 campaign.
Next we have track 2, our first small road tech map, where our lucky players will learn how to do their first technical drift. You see, there is no drift button in Trackmania. You must manually make the car drift yourself by causing your car to slide out. So with this knowledge, let's take a look at how T-Bone Steak gained himself another record.
Thanks, Liam. After the first turn to the left, we see our first drift opportunity. T-Bone Steak starts his drift and slides, taking this turn very wide to preserve speed. Next, we use this patch of grass to let us initiate the drift. T-Bone Steak brakes to extend the drift to keep his speed. Lastly, a wide drift to the left, and T-Bone tries to reduce as much airtime as possible, landing him his second record on the campaign.
And while that looked impressive for T-Bone, look how close Drum Dick drifts to the wall twice in the same run. You couldn't possibly squeeze out any more speed if you tried.
Absolutely, Kyle. T-Bone Steak wins this record with a time of 25.96 seconds. And how about this, our first dirt track? Not as grippy as road, not as slippery as grass. Our players will have to start thinking about making sure they're not turning while the car shifts up a gear. Otherwise, they will lose speed and time. Let's see what Mailman has done here. Mailman tries to reduce airtime during this bumpy turn, and keeps the turning circle wide here so he can gear up nicely, preserving speed and pulling ahead with competition. Mailman tries to keep on the dirt path and off the penalty dirt, which slows the car down dramatically.
And how about this loop-de-loop, Liam? Whee!
And after a clean turn, Mailman secures his first of many records in this campaign. I mean, look how he starts to pull away from the competition and make a comfortable lead. Just good stuff from Mailman, scoring himself a time of 30.90 seconds.
Wow.
I mean, it was alright, I guess. But next we have track 4. A water track, where the players must focus on driving the best lines as you cannot drift underwater. Here we actually have a guest appearance from Sam. Please Sam, run us through this brilliant record by Spunky Cabbage.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Here I turn. And I turn here. And go there. Turn. And turn. Go there and then turn again. Yeah. Is that fucking good enough for you, kid?
Wow, what a great turn. A great performance by Spunky Cabbage, considering he only played the game 1 time, and only the first 7 tracks, yet still he was able to secure himself a record with a time of 26.45 seconds, which is quite impressive.
Yeah, I know.
Now on to the last of the beginner tracks, track number 5. A bobsleigh track compiled of half pipes made of ice, the most slippery surface in the game. Let's see what T-Bone Steak has done this time. Now, to get a good time on this map, the players must take each bobsleigh corner between the 2 red lines, which this yellow barrier conveniently pushes you towards the correct entry point into the turn. The players have to try and not slide out here, something that sounds like it's way easier to do than it actually is.
Sounds like this game in general. Everything always looks easy to do when you're watching somebody else do it.
Well said, mate. I completely agree.
Yep.
Ooh, T-Bone Steak almost sliding out there. And just like that, T-Bone Steak collects another record with a time of 28.22 seconds. So, well done to T-Bone Steak. And that concludes our beginner white tracks. Next we have the green tracks, which step up the difficulty a notch. And now let's get ready for a true test of nerves and control as we dive into track 6, a plastic track. That's right, get ready to embrace the slick, fast-paced madness of a surface that is as smooth as it is unforgiving. Let's take a look at their replay now. Wow, unbelievable control. The grip on those surfaces is so tricky, but T-Bone Steak makes it look effortless with a time of 31.66 seconds. That's what top tier skill looks like, guys.
Now get ready as we dive into our first full speed map, track 7. There's no slowing down on this one, no brakes, no hesitation, just full throttle racing from start to finish. And I might say, I heard Drumdick actually had a strong record on this map for a long time. Anyways, let's see T-Bone Steak's record.
Sensational effort from T-Bone Steak. There's no room for error at these speeds, and he makes it look like a walk in the park. That's what separates the true champions from the rest of the fucking losers, with a time of 32.97 seconds.
Too true, Taylor. Anyways, let's move on to track 8. Strap in, everyone, because we're about to dive into the dynamic beauty of track 8 with its steep cliffs, underwater passages, and massive jumps. Let's watch what record holder Mailman has done here. Wow, what a run. Mailman pulled off the perfect jump onto those yellow boosters. If they hadn't executed that flawlessly, he would have been overtaken. What a run by Mailman with a time of 22.86 seconds. And next up, a transitional map, where players will have to jump from platform to platform. Let's see what the brave Mailman has cooked up for us this time. Well, what a performance! Take a look at that again. Absolutely flawless. Mailman scores himself a time of 27.05 seconds. It's the kind of control and speed that separates the good from the great.
Absolutely. Now here's an interesting one for you, track 10, the last of the green maps. Players get the freedom to choose between all the different alternate cars, from the stadium car, the desert car, the snow car, and the rally car. Let's take a look at T-Bone Steak's record. Wow, what a driver. And you can see that T-Bone Steak takes a different path to his competitors. Was this something they missed perhaps? Regardless, T-Bone Steak claims another record with a time of 32.90 seconds.
And now we move on to the blue tracks, which step up the difficulty even more. A dirt track is next. The breathtaking castle environment will keep you on the edge of your seat, but don't get too distracted by the view. Our drivers will need all of their focus to avoid crashing into the narrow walls. Now let's see Drumdick's run. Drumdick has absolutely shattered expectations with a mind-blowing record run on this brutal dirt map. Narrow paths? Irrelevant. Unforgiving bends? Surgical. Drumdick laps up his first of many records with a time of 40.31 seconds, more than a second to the second place driver, making it the most dominant lead so far in the campaign.
Getting tired of the fall? How about some winter? This plastic map is designed to test even the most seasoned drivers. With low grip and high speeds, this map will separate the contenders from the pretenders. Let's take a look at, you guessed it, T-Bone Steak's run. Just unbelievable. T-Bone Steak has delivered an absolute masterpiece on this treacherous winter plastic track. From start to finish, that was a flawless display of control, speed, and balls. T-Bone Steak scores a time of 40.52 seconds. And now let's welcome track 13. This grass map contains tight corners and deceptively tricky elevation changes. This track rewards smooth steering and perfect line work. Only the most disciplined drivers will master the art of momentum here, and T-Bone Steak has done just that. Are you kidding me? Somebody sign this guy to go pro. T-Bone Steak crushes the competition, showing his dominance when it comes to grass maps, with a time of 37.03 seconds.
Get ready to feel the heat as we head into this desert car map, a track focusing on one of the alternate cars, the desert car. Turn this car turn this car too hard. Turn this car too hard and it'll tilt. Shit. Mailman just delivered, and I'm not talking about letters. I'm talking about an absolute killer record, scoring a time of 34.42 seconds, showing us that Mailman is stamping his name on this track with authority.
Now on to the last of the blue tracks, track 15. This track throws everything at you: ice, dirt, grass, road, forcing drivers to master aspects of every surface in one relentless sprint to the finish. These slim but windy paths even had expert driver T-Bone Steak struggling. Let's take a look. Man, what did we just witness? Even T-Bone Steak mentioned to me that he got this record early into the campaign and was never able to beat it. An unreal time of 42.07 seconds, finishing off the blue tracks. And that takes us to the red tracks, which are known to be hard. First off is a grass map, which focuses on reducing your airtime and keeping momentum. Since this is a grass track, let's watch how T-Bone Steak got this record. Just wow, guys. I would have paid an arm and a leg to see that run live. T-Bone Steak was actually overtaken for half of the track, but made it all back in the reactor checkpoint, ending up with a time of 53.46 seconds.
Now for track 17, a beautiful winter track featuring the snow cart, an alternate car known for being tricky to handle. Couple this with a wood surface, and you have one of the deadliest combinations. Now let's see what Legend Drum Dick has done here. Good golly, wowee. Drumdick has made that look easy. Seriously, he ended up more than 2 seconds ahead of the competition. Now that is some serious domination. With a time of 55.44 seconds, Drumdick secures another record. Now if you thought the last track was crazy, get a load of this shit. More wood, but now with extra effects on top. Our drivers will now have to deal with wet wood, which is more slippery, and reactor wood, which is more slidey, and maybe even wet reactor wood? Couldn't tell you how that handles. Let's just watch what Drumdick has done here. Drumdick does it again, showing he really knows how to handle all types of wood, scoring himself a time of 38.12 seconds. A record for Drumdick, but a disappointment for the ladies.
I'm sorry to hear.
You know what, Taylor?
What's up, Kyle?
I love speed. And I'm not just talking about fast cars.
What?
Track 19. Track 19 is a NASCAR track, meaning it's all about going fast. In fact, it's faster for our racers to let go of the accelerator than it is to use the brakes. With that in mind, let's see how a racer spin.
Oh, I just wanna be free, free, free.
An interesting bit of back and forth on this one, but in the end there can only be one winner. Coming in hot with a time of 1 minute and 11.872 seconds is of course Mailman. Flying through at a breakneck speed makes you wonder who or what he's running away from. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a fan of pups, you're going to love this next track.
That's right, Liam. Up next is track 20, and it's definitely a different one.
That's right, Taylor. With twists and turns and even some jumps here and there, Track 20 really sets itself apart when it comes to being a trial-like track.
Very close match between the boys on that.
Yeah, all the boys had some time in the first position on this one, but it seems one good turn and some luck is all T-Bone Steak needed to gain that title time of 38.965 seconds.
Hey, what the fuck?
Moving on, if you can count, you'll know up next is track 21, a tech map brought to you by the same people that did the last one.
Too true, Liam. Our drivers are high up in the sky for this one. Let's see if they've got the nerve to keep their cool.
That doesn't even make sense.
And would you believe it, folks, T-Bone Steak flies through the competition yet again, absolutely walking the line when it comes to cutting close corners and obtaining a very impressive 50.8 921 seconds.
And here we go, ladies and gentle fucks. Track 22, infamously known to use most, if not all, types of race altering effects.
You said it, Kyle. Let's see if our racers have what it takes to take on track 22. Did you see that? We thought T-Bone Steak Corner was tight to get a load of this. Cutting it just millimeters away from the wall, Mailman takes the lead and soars through the finish line with a graceful time of 1 minute, 18.445 seconds. Outstanding.
And now going into the final 3 maps of the season, track 23 puts our drivers' rally skills to the test.
Too true, Taylor. With the track being predominantly dirt, it's really going to show just how much control our drivers have over their vehicles so they don't lose all their speed out there. Let's see how our racers did.
Would you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? Mailman and T-Bone Steak neck and neck the whole race is still no match for the one and only Drumdick. With impeccable control on those turns, I don't know how he does it. He has secured a time of 1 minute, 340 milliseconds. And coming into the second last track of the season, things are getting cold now.
Don't you mean hot?
It's the famous ice slide map. Much like the previous map, our racers must display unprecedented skill in order to succeed.
Let's see how Mailman handled this track. Wow. What more could I say other than wow? Mailman coming in cool, calm and collected for the entire race. Every slide met with the smoothest of steering seen this entire season. Somebody told this man to lock in and he responded with bet. Absolutely outstanding. 53.829 seconds.
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the very final track of the season. This is what it all boils down to. Our drivers will be pulling out all the stops on this one to secure the top spot.
We've got all different skills needed for this track. It truly is the final countdown on this one. Now let's see what Mailman has done here.
And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Even with a crash and falling behind for the first quarter of the race, Mailman, the man, the myth, the legend, the man whose sole identity is locking in, has done it. With an amazing ice slide, he regains all he has lost, including the love his parents lost for him years ago, and shoots forward to take his claim for the gold medal. With a time of 1 minute and 38.287 seconds, a true inspiration to all aspiring racers out there. No matter how far you fall behind, you always have hope.
And with that, the Port Bois Club Championship of Trackmania Fall 2024 comes to a close. After months of intense racing, countless near misses, and jaw-dropping performances, the leaderboards have finally locked, and the champions have been crowned. T-Bone Steak emerges as the undisputed king of the Port Bois, securing a staggering 12 out of the 24 records. Not only did he dominate the club records, but he also finished highest on the global leaderboard, solidifying his place as the top driver of the season. His consistency, precision, and mastery over a variety of track types left the competition in the dust. Mailman was not far behind, claiming 8 records and proving to be a formidable contender throughout the season. His control and strategy on technical tracks made for some of the most exciting races, and his performance on the global leaderboard placed him 3rd overall. Drum Dick, with 4 records to his name, was the early season's dominant force on the global leaderboard. His record times were so strong that it kept him high in the rankings for most of the season. However, in the final week, T-Bone Steak managed to edge him out, pushing Drum Dick to 2nd on the global stage, although it must be acknowledged that Drum Dick only played the campaign for 20 hours to gain his records, and T-Bone had to play the campaign for 120 hours before he was able to knock Drum Dick from the top spot. Drum Dick's performances, particularly on dirt and wood tracks, were nothing short of legendary. And let's not forget Spunky Cabbage. Despite only playing the game briefly and tackling just the first 7 tracks, he still managed to secure a record, a feat that should not be overlooked. His single achievement is a testament to his raw potential talent. So, the competition has been fierce, the times have been set, and the records have been written in history. But one thing is for certain, when the next campaign drops, the Port Boys will be back, faster and stronger than ever. But until then, congratulations to all our racers, and until next time.